So it's Monday, October 31st. And I've got pretty far along with this deck framing. It's time consuming. Cutting the mortises for the beams. Cutting up these braces. I didn't want to just make that joint one butt joint with glue. So I made these gussets to give a better glue joint, basically. So these two here, I didn't bother with that. I just took the short route. And I looked more carefully at his plans yesterday, and I discovered what that covering board is. I don't know why I'm not getting focus here, but I've changed my plan. I was going to use that 1/8 square material for the deck, and I've decided against that. For one thing, it raises everything up by about 70 thousandths from if out of scale, because the decking that he used is supposed to be 1.5, which is, I guess that's like around 50 thousandths instead of 1/28 in terms of thickness. So I've changed to this stuff, which I'm not sure what exactly what the thickness is, but I'm going to use it anyway. And then for the covering board, the covering board is an 8-inch wide board, which would be a full 1/4 inch wide board. And there's just no way I can bend a 1/4 inch board to this radius. So I'm going to go with two of these narrow boards, these are 1/8 wide. And that will be the covering board. I suppose if I really wanted to be anal about it, I could fill in the seam and make it look like one board, but I'm not going to bother with that. And then the plan of using strip wood for this bulkhead, I've gotten rid of that plan. I think I'm going to use plywood or something. The problem with the strip wood is, I don't know, maybe I might try a wider piece of strip wood first, but I don't think that's going to work. It's got to follow this hull line out here, so it's quite a tilt out. Back around in here, it's not a bad, it's going to be plumb. But once it starts to go past this point here, it's got to start tilting. So I guess at this point, the line will come up like that and it'll probably intersect something like this out here at the stem. So that's where we are today. This board here, I used the magic marker method. I think that'll be all right. Sand it down and varnish it, or tung oil or something like that, or Watco oil. So that's it for today. All right, so it's Wednesday, November 2nd. Just starting today. So I'm using two boards. around the perimeter. Those are going to represent the covering board, which is a 1/4 inch wide. Should be a 1/4 inch wide. And I guess I'll probably fill in the cracks, make it look like one. I just need to do the other side, and then I can run all this decking. You can see there what the magic marker looks like. These have to, I'll probably sand these down a little more. But it's kind of variable. In some places it's quite wide. The black line, that is. But it is what it is, as they say. As far as the bulwark, I'm going to use this, which I found in my stash. Some of the stuff I got from one of those boat yards. This will run full length. It's going to be a bit hard to make those square holes in it, because it is, I think it's teak. It's pretty hard wood, but it's all I've got. I'm not going to buy a piece of plywood just for this one thing. So that's it. This is a morning. I'll make another video later today when I finish. Okay, so it's Thursday, November 3rd. I didn't make a second video yesterday, but I'm close to having perhaps 1/2 of the deck done. It's pretty time consuming. When you can make those long straight runs, that's not much of a problem, but when you get out to where I am now with these, that angle is tough to cut. Basically have to do it with a knife, maybe a little sanding. So hopefully later today I can close that in and start coming back across the other side. These things worked out fairly well. I'm a little too far in here, but I think I can sand the hull back to match if I need to. The rub strip goes in here, so that might cover any issues. The same with the rub strip, like Payson said, to just run these out, cut them, trim them back to the hull. So I assume that those ends are going to be covered by that strip. Once I get the deck done, then comes the thing I'm really dreading, which is that bulkhead. That's not going to be fun, I don't think. I do have he made a template, or there's a template in his drawing set, which I have, was blown up to the correct size, so that'll be a good starting point. But I believe I'm gonna, in here where the flare of the hull is quite a lot, I think I'm gonna drill 1/8 holes on that angle. Maybe every other, the frames are 1/2 inch apart, so maybe every other frame I'll drill a hole to establish that angle. So I come around, and then in this region it's all plumb. So the plumb posts, it won't be a problem. So that's it for now. Okay, so it's Sunday, November 6th, and I finally finished the deck. And now comes the dreaded bulkheads. Came out all right. This wood was pretty poorly milled, so they're not all, like, their thickness is varied. I did quite a bit of sanding, so I got most of it out, but anyway, it's to be looked at, not to run your hand over like a kitchen counter. So, and today I spent some time trying to come up with, just because I wanted to avoid the bulkhead, trying to come up with some dimension drawings of the parts to make this wheelhouse. And I discovered when I'm trying to scale the length of this, to the size of this opening, I found that there was a huge discrepancy. I couldn't, the scale factor I came up with wasn't right. Well, it turns out I made this opening 5 inches. The plan, his plan here is saying that's 15 feet 6 inches. So that actually scales out to 5.8 inches. So that was the reason for my failure to figure out how to draw these parts. So now that that's settled, I can go ahead and make some drawings of that every time I want to avoid dealing with that bulkhead. So that's it for this video.